Hi, Gene here with today's thought. And today we're going to talk about something I actually meant to talk about a few days ago, but other subjects came up. I kept putting it off. So I'm going to talk about it today because actually we're talking about two events, an original event and a second event, and I guess a third event having to do with the first event. So the first event is, there's a TV show, you may know it, called This Week. It's hosted by George Stephanopoulos. It's on ABC. It's one of these Sunday morning interview shows where the host interviews some public figure about some current event of the day. So, if it's current, then it's an event of the day. Anyways, so he was interviewing Nancy Mace, who is a U.S. representative from South Carolina. She's a Republican, and she's supporting Donald Trump in the election. And Stephanopoulos asked Nancy Mace, how could you support Donald Trump, who was convicted or found guilty of rape of E.J. Carroll, the E.J. Carroll trial, which, the bottom line is that is totally false. He was not found, it wasn't a criminal trial, so nobody was found criminally guilty of anything. That's number one. Number two, it was a civil suit. He was found liable for sexual aggression. He was specifically cleared of rape. So that puts George Stephanopoulos. The point is, we have laws. We have, slander laws against defamation. And he made this accusation. He made it several times. And I'm going to digress for a second because there's my hypocrisy alarm, just when I heard that, just went off, probably drowned out the whole block. But that's how loud it was. But if I were Nancy Mace, I don't know why she didn't ask this, but I would. You have to remember, George Stephanopoulos is, not just a Democrat, but a very partisan Democrat. I mean, he supported Bill Clinton, number one. Number two, not only did he support Bill Clinton, he was Bill Clinton's first press secretary. So had I been, if I were Nancy Mace, I would have asked him, when he asked her, how could you support Bill Clinton, support Donald Trump, who was convicted of rape? Well, she should have said, first of all, that's false. Number two, though, she should have asked George Stephanopoulos, have you ever heard of Juanita Broaddrick? This is Juanita Broaddrick of the famous Put Some Ice on That fame. The quote, that's what she said. She accused Bill Clinton of raping her, and she had said that in some interview, that after Bill Clinton raped Juanita Broaddrick, and I guess he cut her lip or did something, and he just said, we'll put some ice on it. And I would also go farther, and I would say, have you ever heard of Paula Jones? Paula Jones accused Bill Clinton of sexual assault, virtually the same thing that Donald Trump was found liable for. And he's appealing that, by the way. So the end result remains to be seen. But for now, the point is that I would have asked, I would say, tell me who Juanita Broaddrick is, and he would have to tell Nancy Mace that, she is the one, she's a woman who accused Bill Clinton of rape. And if he won't answer, then she should remind him and everybody, not remind, just tell him, because he certainly knows. And same thing with Paula Jones, and then ask, how could you have supported Bill Clinton? Not only supported Bill Clinton, but served as his press secretary and White House press secretary. That's what I would have asked. It would have been wonderful to hear how Stephanopoulos would have answered it, tried to change the subject. So that would be, I would have loved to. It's just too bad she didn't ask that. But now back onto the subject. I said that was the first event that triggered subsequent events. So the subsequent event is that Donald Trump is suing both Stephanopoulos and ABC for defamation, and I am. It looks to me like an open and shut case. Now, I am not a lawyer. I could be wrong on that, but it looks like a very strong case, at least. And I wish him Godspeed. But now here is my advice, which is that he should, he's going to ask for damages. He's going to ask for damages, monetary damages for defamation, for damage to his reputation. And then you need punitive damages to make sure that ABC will never, and Stephanopoulos will never do something like that again. And at the very least, be a little bit more careful of what you about the partisanship and about of what you accuse Republicans. So my advice. So now we get to my advice, which is Bill Clinton, Donald Trump. When you ask for damages, I would ask for $600 million. $600 million. I would do more than that. I would ask for, $1 billion or something that would get down to about 600 billion. Why pick that figure? Or 500 something, enough to cover the $464 million that Donald Trump is supposed to put up to be able to appeal the suit that he lost in temporarily, because I'm sure that'll be overturned. I'm fairly confident that'll be overturned, or at least the award will be reduced, but would cover that amount, and would number two, cover the $85 million that he has to pay. Well, actually $90 million if he had. There was one judgment for $5 million, and then she sued him again, and $85 million, another ridiculous amount. But anyways, so that's a point. I mean, that's a good, maybe both of those cases will get drastically reduced, especially the one, the $464 million. But Trump will he could make a profit on this if ABC pays him enough money. Well, the worst case scenario, the point is that Donald Trump will not be out of pocket for any of these judgments, either for the $464 million, if that ends up being the judgment, and all the awards to E.J. Carroll. It would just be poetic justice. In other words, these fines, these penalties imposed on Donald Trump would be paid by ABC and George Stephanopoulos. And to me, that would be so wonderful. So, as I said earlier, Godspeed, Donald Trump. Go ahead with your suit. And that's a problem that they have, by the way. My last digression. They picked the wrong guy. They picked number one, a guy who can't be pushed around, and number two, a guy who is wealthy enough to defend himself in all these suits. I mean, imagine, that's the scary part. Imagine if it were you or I. We don't have the money. We don't have God. If I had $464 million imposed on me, what could I do? What could you do? So that's my thought for today. Thanks for stopping by. Your comments are welcome in the comment section below this video. You could subscribe. That would really be great. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. But most of all, come back and see me again. I would love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.